This is Lewis Hart for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store Forged Irish Stout. Delighted to be joined with Izzy Asif here in Coventry. We're back out, DAZN Debut for GBM, a big milestone for yourself. Other than that, I suppose, how's things, mate? How's life?
Yeah, life's been good. It's been a bit shit this week, to be honest with you, Lewis. But other than that, listen, great forward, a great position. What an opportunity this is. Our DAZN debut, we're back in the Midlands, Coventry, a good press conference, yeah. But it's been a testing week, to be fair with you, Lewis.
We'll get into that, I suppose. We'll jump straight into it. A real testing week. Obviously, losing one half of your main event with Kieran falling out, a few other fallouts. Like, I suppose, a simple question: would this be one of the hardest weeks of promoting so far? Would you say?
Yeah, without a shadow of doubt. Everything went wrong. What could have got wrong potentially, but on the positive of it, listen, we've got 11 fights on. We've got 2 title fights on. We found the opponents. We've got the matches, but it's been tough. When you hear a phone call, your top of the bill's injured, he can't do it for whatever reason, medical reasons, board issues. It kind of thinks, well, we don't need this, but listen, it's a boxing business, Lewis. I signed up for it. I'm not complaining. I've got a great team that dealt with it and took the pressure away from me. But yeah, as a promoter, probably the toughest promotional week I've had so far.
But I suppose, does it show your resilience when you say to Danny, listen mate, don't worry, you'll be boxing on the 29th, no matter, I know it's not Guerfi, but no matter who it is, you'll still be boxing on the 29th?
Of course, listen, as a promoter, I try employing the best people in the business. So when I employ matchmakers and people who are going to get the matches for us, I believe they're going to deliver when it's tough situations. It's all good delivering when it's quite standard to get a match. It's when it's up against you, you've got time against you. And that's what they've done. So we said to them, keep calm. You know, there's a little bit of panic from Danny's side. Obviously, he's fighting for a title. He's got 2 belts on the line. He's sold hundreds of tickets. But we delivered, and look, we're here. All well and all, it's all part of experience, it's all part of the job description, and we went on Saturday night. It's going to be a massive night for us.
And also, do have to talk about the chief supporter, undefeated against undefeated Nyall Berry, back out. You know, John Pegg's always saying how good Nyall Berry is, and he's always banging on about everyone in that gym on how good they are. Important now that Nyall Berry, I suppose, is proving that, and especially proving it with GBM as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I believe Nyall Berry is one of the best prospects in British boxing. You know, super bantamweight, tough division. He's done a lot of sparring with Liam Davies. I know that's been going well, but he's got a tough fight here. Francesco De Rosa, you've seen him up here. He's got 5 knockouts out of 8 or something like that. He really believes in himself. Going to come and bring the smoke, and that for me could steal the fight of the night. 2 undefeated guys. They've got IBF title on the line, and like the famous saying goes, somebody's always got to go.
A few guys I did want to pick out on the card. Obviously, Kieran Molloy is back out after a tough return fight in Rotherham a few months ago, I say. You know, when you look at the picture and when you look at sort of welterweight and where he's fighting, you know, he looks at Donovan, Crocker and them guys, and they're fighting, and you know, he's not far off them type of calibre of opponents.
No, Kieran Molloy's the kind of kid, 3 or 4 more fights and you'll see him calling the big boys out. I kept saying, like, when you've had 225 amateur fights, you're not in this just to have a few pro fights, you're in there because you believe you're going to go to the top, and that's what Kieran Molloy and Tiernan Bradley both believe and bring. So a few more wins, but listen, he's got to get over these 8-rounders. There's got to be a progression here. We can't just be calling these names. He's got to get a few more 8-rounders potentially, get him in the title fight, and then call the names out when he's got them 10-round and championships experience behind him.
We last caught up when the deal with DAZN was announced. I suppose it's been a couple of weeks now. Has it really sunk in, like, or did you think it was sunk in, I suppose, after the show, I guess?
Yeah, I get asked that a lot. Has it kind of surprised you how quick it's happened? Have it sunk in? Does it feel real? You know, when you believe you're good at what you do and you kind of carry yourself as good at what you do, it almost comes as existence, as you kind of already feel like you've lived through it. You know, whether you call it manifestation, whatever. So does it feel like real? Yeah, it does, because I believe we deserve a platform. I believe, like I keep saying, we're one of the best outfits in the country. And so when it happened, and yeah, it felt real. I feel like we belong here. I don't feel anything without a place. I don't feel like DAZN are not going to be impressed. I think we're in a good position with DAZN. I think they're going to be impressed with the working relationship. Has been brilliant so far with DAZN, and just it's building bridges, building relationships with him, and that's what's important now. But we're going to keep stepping it up. You know what we're like, Lewis, at GBM. We like up the levels all the time. So when I do something, I want to beat that. And that's the kind of way we go about GBM. So yeah, it feels real. I feel like we should belong here. I don't feel like will surprise anybody. You know, there was interest in other broadcasting platforms, but we feel like DAZN's got the real vision and drive for boxing at the moment.
And with it obviously being the DAZN debut, to show, I suppose, the testing times that this is one of the hardest weeks that you said you've had in promoting. It just happens to be that the first week that you've got like a global broadcast on you as well.
Yeah, could have picked any other week, but he's picked the week where we've got a massive night. But listen, that's boxing. It happens. It's not the first time it'll happen. It won't be the last. And I wouldn't say smile through it. I just thought there's nothing I can do. Listen, you don't worry about something that's out of your control. If a fighter's injured, he's not going to fight. It's just the way nature of the business. So I leave it to the matchmaking team, and I just kind of left it to him because, listen, if you took the stress out of a boxing promotion, you were dead end of the week. You know, it really could. It's not designed for everybody, but it kind of tells me about what I'm about and how resilient, how much I can take this business. And listen, yeah, I smiled through it, even though we're tough. And what we say is, if you don't smile, you'll be crying in this business.
And just because of that, how much credit do you give to the matchmaking team? Because it's almost like an underrated job in boxing, and it is so stressful. And a lot of credit to the team that you have here with the matchmakers.
Look, you know, like, I love boxing. I love everything about boxing. There's one job I'd hate to have, is being a matchmaker. You get stick all the time. You can never get, you're an unsung hero. Nobody ever hears about the hard work you do, the stress, constant dropouts, medical issues, you know, injuries, all sorts. They don't see it, and they're constantly working non-stop. Like, our matchmaker up at 2 o'clock in the morning because he was working with the Argentinian authorities, and they were, you know, with a time clock and everything. It's hard. It's one part of the business that I will not be taking up.
Just away from this card, as a promoter, I did have to ask you about yesterday, and I suppose 21st September we saw Ben Shalom, Callum Saunan, Frank Moore and Eddie Hearn all on the top table together for a massive card at Wembley Stadium. I suppose seeing that press conference, and I know you have sort of ambitions one day that you'll be up there as well, it is good to see, isn't it?
Oh, without a shadow of doubt, all the promoters working together, and it's come to Britain, it's come to England, and we've said that a bit, you know, we love the Saudi stuff, but it's actually coming to Wembley. It's a great card, and to see all the promoters, as a promoter, I'm looking at, I think, brilliant. Because if they're all working together, we're going to all work together as well. And the only top promoter that we're missing were Izzy Asif. You know, I don't know if you've heard about that kid, but
I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. He's doing something.
Listen, I love it. I respect what these guys are doing, and I just think our time will come. And I'm not one to rush it and think, oh, why are we not up here? Credit to him. You've seen Ben Shalom up live. You've seen Eddie and Frank working. You see the Wasserman, Cali were there. It's good, and the fights will happen. And we'll be at the position very soon where we'll have the fighters who, these 10 and 0, 11 0s, we'll be in a position where we'll be part of these big nights. And listen, it's just going to make the sport stronger. So it's great it's happening. Ages in a good fight with Dubois. It's a great card all up and down.
Absolutely. Izzy, as always, thank you for taking time to speak to me. Always good to catch up with you. Always good to see you, mate. And yeah, all the best for Saturday, mate. Top man.